Hi there. In this video, I'm going to explain how I write product email content by collaborating with developers and designers. So, what do I mean by product email? Emails that are triggered by users' interaction with the app. These emails contain information that is unique and is sent to individuals rather than a large list of recipients like marketing emails. For example, password change emails, user invite emails, monthly statements, etc. I start any email content with the subject line. I try to begin with the action verb so that even when users scan through the email list, they can get the gist of the email. For example, verify your email address, password change required, transaction failed, etc. Also, if I want to include entity names in the subject line, for example, invoice number, customer name, item name, etc., I mention it in the end because the character length of these cannot be known for sure. So including it in the beginning or in the middle would push any useful information to the end and will be hidden behind the truncation. So essentially users cannot read it unless they open the email. Next, the preheaders. Email preheader is a short text that follows a subject line when the email is viewed in an inbox. This piece of content is usually missed by a lot of writers. When a preheader is not written for an email, it usually takes content from the subject line and it starts showing it in the inbox. So the way I frame preheaders is to complement the subject line. For example, here it says you can complete the verification process in one click. My intention was to entice the users or encourage them to think that, okay, this is just a simple step, let me get this over with. The body. Since UX writers and content designers work mostly on the product emails and not the marketing emails, I usually stick to the point. What information to include and how to structure them depends on the nature of the email. So there is no right or wrong way to write an email content as long as it clearly explains what the email is about. But if there are a lot of information that needs to be included, I usually check if they can be structured in a table so that the readers can consume it easily. Alternative text. Alternative text is also known as alt text. It helps readers who use assistive technologies by reading the text. Plus, if the image fails to load, then the alternative text is shown instead of random characters. So once all the obviously visible contents are done, I check if there are images like company logo or illustrations. If yes, then I start writing the alternative text for the images. In the handover document, I always add a row for the images and write the alternative text in the same row, just like I do it for any other element. I also highlight it with a different color so that the developers can easily identify it. This way, it is easier for the developers to refer and implement it. When writing alternative text, never start with images of or picture of because screen readers will anyway mention that the element is an image and then it will read out the alternative text. ARIA labels. ARIA labels are also for accessibility just like alternative text. I write the ARIA labels only for interactive elements such as CTAs and links in the email. Just like alternative text, I include the ARIA labels in the same row of the element and highlight them. The whole concept of ARIA labels in UX writing is kind of complex and explaining it will need its own separate video. So for now, I've added some links in the description for you all to refer. Finally, email size. Make sure the email size is always less than or equal to 102 KB, that is 102 KB. Why? Gmail and some other email clients clip the email content after a certain point and hides the remaining content under a click interaction. For instance, Gmail hides the content of email whose size is more than 102 KB under the view entire message CTA. To check the email size, I work with the developers and make sure the size is always within the limit. This email size works only for static emails. For dynamic emails, emails whose content depend on the user's product usage, I really can't do anything about it. A good example for dynamic email is transaction report from your bank or a weekly report of all the songs that you have listened to on Spotify. And that's about it. So this is how I write product email content. I hope you all loved the video.